people are missing.
I'm gonna cut you there, Coach, because you're preaching to three people who already know this. Because we've been living it for flipping years. You know what I mean? We know this, my brother. Don't worry about that. You don't have to tell me about owners who don't know how to properly invest and be ambitious, bro.
But it doesn't mean that 8th place and 5-2 at home in the Champions League is acceptable. That is no matter. I understand. I agree. The FSG have not set up this club to compete regularly with the competition, i.e., Manchester City. Some of it is their fault. Some of it's not. You can't match Man City spending, but they can definitely do a lot more than they've done. 100%. I can't blame Klopp for not challenging Man City this year, but you can blame Klopp for being in 8th. Granted, you've got a chance of getting top 4, being in 8th and getting thumped 5-2. But you're out of every competition by February, whereas 6 months ago you were going for a quadruple. That you can put on a manager, because no matter what we talk about expectation, no matter what levels he brought you to, there should be a minimum expectation, a minimum standard that him and the players should not drop below. And him and the players have below that all season. You had one little 9-0 against Bournemouth that marked the part of the season, but either side of that, it was absolute garbage. Then you won 2 games in a row just gone, and some people were saying, "Yeah, we're back." But when you actually look at the games, Newcastle are 10 men and we're the better side. So there was so much cracks that's been shown that are being rushed over because FSG haven't invested to get you into a title race. Yeah, but they've invested enough to get you higher than 8th. They've invested more than enough to get slapped by Napoli to end up 2nd in your group, to then get slapped by Real Madrid, who are behind Barca in La Liga. That's unacceptable.
But Nix, let me just quickly just say this. Nix, I 100% agree with what you're saying. But when you're looking at it, I'm talking about 5 years of negligence. When you have 5 years of negligence and you see the cracks appearing, especially that season when we lost practically all our defenders, and I feel like us getting 3rd papered so many cracks, us getting 3rd, and then you make the same mistakes again.
But Samuel,
this is the thing, though. The manager's not putting them under any pressure. The manager's sitting there and acting like it's fine to do what they do. There's no pressure. He sits there, gets no signings in January when he's got no centre backs.
And when you say 5 years, when you say 5 years of neglect, it was only 4 seasons ago that you signed Alisson and Fabinho. 5 seasons ago is when you signed Van Dijk, Mo Salah, Andy Robertson, and those guys. Like you had some good summers.
What I'm saying is 5 years of neglect.
1920 happened, but for me though, this is the problem, right? And this is where I kind of agree with Kurdish a bit. When you had those summers where you didn't invest, nearly every Liverpool fan and these dogs said, "Oh, Klopp likes little squads. Klopp don't like too many players. Moneyball, we won't overspend." And we all sit there and said it's fine, but when this team fades away, it might take you 3 or 4 years to get back to another level. That is on FSG. I agree. However, it was only a few weeks ago that I think Jamie Carragher's called him out for this tonight. That Van Dijk said that Jamie Carragher couldn't get into this Liverpool team. And Jamie Carragher just said it absolutely right on CBS. Jamie Carragher could walk into that team tonight. So many players in this Liverpool squad they're old, but they ain't 35 Benzema old. They're not 37 Modric. I keep calling him Modric. Modric old, right? They're not old. They're 28, 29. You should still have 3 or 4 more years left in you. The drop-off in these Liverpool players, I think, is massively down to, and you can maybe use a kinder word than me, but boredom. I think they have had enough of Jurgen Klopp. That isn't to say, I think if Klopp, by the way, took over Real Madrid or Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich in the summer, within a year, even if they weren't playing brilliantly now, they'd be firing. I think he's still one of the best managers in the world. I just think he has gone stale. The players are bored. They want something different. This could happen after 7 years. And the reason why it's more likely to happen at Liverpool is you don't rotate your squad as much as Pep does at Man City. And for me, it's a mixture of the two things. I think FFG are a problem if you want to have sustainable success. I couldn't agree more. The players need to be looked at for individual mistakes. Why have they gone backwards? But it's like the whole team, probably barring Alisson, I know he made a bad mistake tonight. The whole team, barring Alisson, has regressed in one season. That's managerial. How do we know that? We saw it in Man United. Look what happened to the Brunos and the Rashfords last year. Look what they're doing now. This is on managers, and that isn't to say Klopp's rubbish. And I know everybody envisages this kind of, 10, 15, 20 years, my manager stays and we win. What Fergie did was beyond abnormal. To stay in one place for that long and keep a team winning. Most managers have to leave. And I just think Jurgen Klopp's time is done. Not he's done. I don't think he's finished. I think his time at Liverpool is over for me. I really, really do.
And the phrase, just rip the Band-Aid off. People focus on the cut. The cut in this situation is FSG. They've cut Liverpool. They're bleeding. The Band-Aid.
They're the broken arm.
Yeah. They're broken arm. Yeah, but Klopp is the Band-Aid. Yeah, but you know what happens when you leave one Band-Aid on for too long? It gets infected. And when that gets infected, the cut gets worse. And right now, you need to rip off the Band-Aid because you need a new Band-Aid, my brothers. What happened tonight? I'm sorry, I don't normally come on here and cuss rivals, innit? Because I've got my game on Thursday, innit? So let me not speak. But tonight was embarrassing. It's an embarrassment. It was at Anfield. You had 37-year-old Modric doing up the midfield, controlling it with ease. We all know Modric is world-class and he can create and find space wherever he wants. Cool. But tonight wasn't him finding space. He was giving it in the half spaces. Benzema just chilling, doing whatever he wants. There was one failed cross from Carvajal that looped all the way across your goal into the corner of the box. And Benzema still got it with no challenge. That's got to stop. The midfield and the defense are not cohesive. The forward line don't know what the hell they're going to do. And at this point, you don't just need new owners. You don't just need new players. You need a new manager to change it up. You do. I'm sorry, Curtis, you do. Because he's drained. It's been 7, 9, 8 years of pure hard work. The guy is not a flipping...
Curtis, what praise can you give him today? What can you give Jurgen Klopp for today?
I'll tell you what you can praise him on.
What can you praise him for?
Tom, I know what you can praise him for. When it went 2-2, he really, really clapped well for Alisson. He clapped good.
Terry.
I don't care. Lad, what's the point? What is the point? This man. Look, I love Jurgen Klopp. I would want nothing more than for Jurgen Klopp to remain man and still be successful because of everything he's done for his past. But football waits for no one. He got nothing after the first 20 minutes. After the first 20 minutes, Boss rode the atmosphere. Nunes, Salah, good pressure. We were sitting there going, "Oh, this could be." Beyond that, the only thing I can't fault him for is being a dickhead because he's an absolute man at times. I don't get why he made the foul, to try and make that block when Alisson's diving there, and then when he got subbed off, he walked straight down the tunnel. But guess what? We've played the injury card. The injury card's got to say he's injured now. He isn't injured because he was not limping, he was not stumbling any time beforehand. But Jurgen Klopp today, when we were 5-2 down, 4-2, not 5, it weren't 5-2 yet, but 4-2 down, took off Nunes, who was our biggest threat.
He was our best, yeah.
Don't know why he took him off. And then not only that, he brought on James Milner. Why? We are 4-2 down. What is his 2-foot crunch on Luka Modric in the 81st minute going to do to turn the game around?
Who else is he supposed to bring on?
Ox?
Naby? Don't take Nunes off. Guess what? Don't take Nunes off. Don't take Nunes off.
Tom, this is the problem.
Are we being serious?
No, just let me land here. This is the problem. We think that football is just as easy, don't take it on. We don't actually think that there's medical teams who are planning 4 weeks ahead and that they live by certain parts where if you play...
Oh my God, kids, this is the biggest game of our season. Actually, you know what, kids? I don't actually give a shit about Crystal Palace at the weekend. I don't know.
It doesn't matter what happened.
Oh my God, Lad,
you know that.
This is the biggest game of our season. This is right. I don't care about the red zone.
As a club,
the biggest
we
game
live
of our
by
season.
the red zone. You know that.
Oh my God, this is the biggest game of our season. This is it. We have no chance in the league. We have no chance in any of the cups because we're knocked out. But yeah, let's get ourselves knocked out of the cup. Let's not give ourselves a fighting chance in the Champions League because of the red zone. Because we need to toss. Oh my good God! I would rather give ourselves more of a chance of coming back from 4-2 down.
Yeah, if you're 4-2 down, you make it 4-3. You've only got to win 2-0. Now you've got to win 4-0. Like you, that's a great thing about these games. You could be out of it, but a couple
You're
of goals
sitting there
changes it
saying,
in
save
half-time.
yourselves for Crystal Palace. Save
But
yourselves for
listen,
Bournemouth. I don't care.
Tom, it wasn't really even the personnel of the midfield was mainly my problem. It was when we were 2-0 up. Not even just part of the rush, just drop the line back at least 10 yards. It will make a world of a difference. But the fact we tried to still go gung-ho against Benz and Vinny that could just fly in behind, it made no sense to me. And he's done it repeatedly this season.
Have you seen Jurgen Klopp's quotes from the press conference?
No, what's he
No,
said?
no.
He said
Tom,
he got asked about the tie in 3 weeks' time, and he said, I think Carlo Ancelotti thinks the tie is over, and I think it as well. My manager's already written off the second
At least he's
leg.
honest. At least he's honest.
He's
What do you want him to do?
Who can blame him?
You want him
Who
to
can
lie?
actually blame him?
At least, yeah, like,
You want him to lie?
Kiddish. This man has lied. Fucking every press conference up until this point. The one time I want him to lie, he tells me the truth. What's the point?
Tom, you're going to the Bernabeu and your midfield hopes are relying on an 18-year-old. What do you want him to say?
That's Kiddish. We rocked up. We had Barca coming to us, and we sat there and said, "Oh, we still got a chance." Now we're writing it off. Look, I'm of the case that we've written it off, but I would rather our manager didn't act like we're Southampton and write off games 3 weeks before they happen.
Tom, can I just ask you, why would you not want to act like Southampton? Your owners behave like Southampton. The exact same model as Southampton. No, the exact same model as Southampton. So why are you, as a fan, do you have higher expectations than Southampton?
This is the situation that we always end up in. We always like to seem to forget that Jurgen Klopp turned down midfield signings in the summer.
Oh, that's not factual. You don't know that.
Okay,
You do
all right,
not
hold
know
on.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Hold on.
There you go.
So
You don't
so
know
all
that.
the multiple articles,
You
all
do
the
not know
multiple
that.
articles, all the
You don't
multiple
know that.
articles, all the
don't know
multiple
that.
articles, oh my good God. All the multiple articles that have told me in the summer that Jurgen Klopp turned down midfield signings are wrong. Okay, that's good to know now.
Until you were in the boardroom.
All right,
until
cool.
you were in the
Hold on.
boardroom, You don't know that.
Let me just say this. Jurgen Klopp goes. He moves off. Are we going to be all right?
Yes.
We're just going to be all right,
Bro, let me just say one thing. I just want to make this very clear. Six seasons under Jurgen Klopp. 6 seasons under Jurgen Klopp. These owners achieved top 4 once before Jurgen Klopp. Before Jurgen Klopp, under this model, under these owners, we achieved top 4 once, and that was when we had Luis Suarez at his absolute peak.
All right,
so
sorry,
please.
guys. Okay, question. Let me ask you a question because I don't even disagree with the fact that a new manager might make a change because sometimes a fresh voice and a new ideas, and you might be able to, Klopp is a bit of a slave to his philosophy, and maybe the players can no longer play. I've gone through that before, but considering how highly you rate Jurgen Klopp, and rightly so, I think the question that Terry or the statement Terry posed at the beginning is valid. Jurgen Klopp should hand in his resignation because a manager of this level, at this greatness, should not be willing and happy to work under an ownership which cannot create long-term success. If we rate him as high as we're saying,
100%.
He's too good for FSG's model, so he should be rated past this season.
I mean, look, we always sit there and we back Jurgen Klopp, we defend Jurgen Klopp, up to the hills we'll back the man. But at the end of the day, the man, we back him and say, he hasn't been given the tools by FSG, this, that, and the other. That's fine. You also do have to ask for them at times, but hey ho, I'll push that one off to the side. Just because you didn't get your midfield tools does not excuse the shambolic display I have seen this season in multiple games, in multiple months. And we are now coming to the point of this Liverpool squad, of this Liverpool cycle, where we have to rebuild the squad. And the hardest thing for a manager to do is rebuild a squad that they already built. Because they have connections to the squad. They don't want to let certain players go because they remember what they done in 4 years ago when they had a good run in a cup once before. So right now, I'm sitting there looking at it going, do I back Jurgen Klopp? Because I'm not having Jurgen Klopp that came in 2016. I'm not having Jurgen Klopp that won us a league title or a Champions League. I've got the Jurgen Klopp now that smiles at 5-2 down, which I don't want to see. So when I look at it like this, I'm sitting there going, do I back Jurgen Klopp to fully oversee this rebuild and do right by the club 100%? Or is he going to sit there when the chips are down and go, nah, Hendo, you done me good 3 years ago, so you'll stay. You don't want to leave, so we'll stay. Do you want to know the worst statements Jurgen Klopp has said whilst at this club? If a player never asks to leave, I won't sell them. What are we, a charity case? You want to stay, and then you just stay.
Players leave on their own accord. Yeah, I remember when you said.
What's the